paintball has quickly become the top extreme sport in the nation.
Hot chicks love paintball.
With nearly 10 million participants, the sport is taking strategy and teamwork to the next level.
It's a team sport. You learn the team side of things, but it's also, you have to have individual skills too.
Fueled by the most intense blend of passion and performance.
When you know someone's gonna hurt you, the adrenaline flies.
You have to be a good shot, you have to be in good shape. It's exciting, it's so much fun.
Mentally, physically, and everything, you gotta be like there, you know, you gotta be in the heat of the moment.
Some of the sport's most highly profiled athletes have converged on the Nppl Super 7 Series center court. Guys like adrenaline junkie Josh Davey.
Oh, it's just like nothing out there I've ever done. It's exhilarating. It's, you know, it's the one thing that I really enjoy. And
veterans Chris Lasoya.
If I'm playing paintball, I'm out there to win.
And Travis Lemansky.
You know, you're shooting 15 balls a second. You can definitely see a stream going somewhere, so.
And the San Diego superstar Ryan Greenspan.
It took my mom about 4 years to realize what's going on.
We'll plow into the personalities that shape the attitude of paintball.
You have, you know, that adrenaline constantly pumping through you.
And learn more about the overwhelming obsession for the sport, both on the field and beyond the paint.
They run at each other and shoot people. What be more fun than that?
The action is intense in a game where anything is possible. Last week, we saw one of the top-ranked teams, San Diego Dynasty, dominate their first game against New England Hurricanes, eliminating all 7 players in just under 2 minutes. Their next game proved to be quite different, as Sacramento Excessive, led by veteran Rich Telford, pulled off a grueling win against Dynasty, just inside the 7-minute time limit. In the Pro Division, 18 teams will play a round-robin style tournament, vying for a spot in Sunday's Elite 8. Each 7-man team will try to capture the other team's flag while protecting their own. Their strategy will be to hide and maneuver through a series of Nppl bunkers, like the cans of various sizes, the car wash, the Doritos, and the snake. Trying to eliminate the opposing players by tagging them with a paintball shot from a special air gun called a marker. Our first match features veteran Chris Lasoya and the Montreal Image against the hometown favorite New England Hurricanes. It's up next on FSN.
Nobody is going to save you now. Nobody is going to save you now.
For years, Jeff Orr worked side by side with his father, Bud Orr, to develop and innovate some of the best paintball markers the world has ever seen.
I'm Jeff Orr. I spent my life making some of the sickest paintball guns on the planet. My latest creations are the Autococker SR and my very own Signature Series.
Each Jeff Orr Signature Series Autococker is designed, custom fitted and machined by Jeff at the War Games facility in Southern California. Every month, Jeff creates a new run of limited edition custom fitted autocockers and pump markers. Autococker, when accuracy counts.
Spider Classic Series, Spider VS Series, Spider MR Series. Celebrating 15 years of performance, reliability, and design. View these products and more by visiting us online at spider.tv.
FSN's coverage of Extreme Paintball, Beyond the Paint, is brought to you by Mad Croc, Energy Gum, Fruit Chews, and Drinks. It's what you need. By Spider, passion for paintball. And by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. The Nppl Super 7 action begins today with New England Hurricanes.
Hopefully hometown champ will have a big impact on us. They'll be able to pull things together and see how it goes.
Versus Montreal Image. Image is led by one of the league's longest standing veterans, Chris Lasoya.
Well, I've been involved in the sport since probably day one. I think it was '86, the first paintball game was played. I started shortly after that. My dad had taken me out for the first time. I was like in 9th grade or something like that. His company went out for a team building exercise. I had a lot of fun playing. Got to shoot my mom, shoot my dad. I was playing ever since then. You know, I've seen the sport evolve from what it started as to what it is now. Now, the tournaments really never got really big until probably the late 80s, about 88, 89. That was back in the 10-man days. I think the reason I might still be around is because, you got to change with your environment. Just like any other thing in life, you got to change with the game. I had an opportunity of a lifetime, and here I am, so it's nice.
And really didn't matter to me, whatever he wanted to do. He loved it. He was a genuine star from the beginning.
If I'm playing paintball, I'm out there to win. I'm not there to lose. I'm not there to hurt people. I like playing paintball for a reason. I don't do it. If I didn't want to do that, I'd play golf. It's becoming more of a sport instead of just a game that people play in the woods.
Emotions are intense as these guys get psyched for the breakout.
Usually the first game, morning butterflies, and after that, anything goes.
This can be a critical point in the tournament, and a lot of strategy goes into it.
Friday we come out here, we watch the other amateur teams and stuff, play the field. We get a good feel for angles and the blind shots on the break, how the field plays a little bit, the moves you can make. That's certainly what we're looking for. Where can we get in the field to get the most eliminations? And how can I effectively get down the field without losing too many bodies in the process?
Now on the Nppl center court.
New England Hurricanes come from right to left in the blue uniforms, and Montreal Image in their standard black. Oh, Montreal Image losing their first player going into the car wash. Ooh, looks like that guy just got hit in the hopper, a Montreal Image player. Ooh, now he's gonna come get out. What, ref? I got hit there? There's always a little bit of cahoodling happening, trying to convince refs you didn't really get hit. But 2 Image players down, 1 Hurricanes player down. Trying to suck in now, trying to get as tight as you can on that bunker. 5 Image players left. Hurricanes bump up the Doritos. Little movement, good movement, both teams trying to jockey for position. Image players in the snake on the red zone, the bottom, and a Hurricane player in the snake on the top. Now, the snake on the left top of your screen there, there's a Hurricane player on one side and an Image player on the other side. Oh, and here comes the Hurricane. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, tight. They both hit, what's the ref's call? Oh, 1-for-1 on the Hurricanes player. Oh, the crowd didn't like that at all. Looked like the refs felt that the Hurricane player played on after getting shot. So that means a penalty, and this hometown crowd for New England did not like that at all. But seemed like a good call from here. Now Image just trying to clean up a little bit, only a couple players left. There's one gogged right in the goggles. It's kind of the most humiliating place to get shot is from a paintball player. Getting shot in the goggles. And the last one waves it off, and Image rock and roll with the 3 lives, gonna win that against the Hurricanes. Controversial call on the snake, but gave the win to Image.
We're playing decent. We're not playing the best out here right now, but I think that we will pick it up towards the end of the day.
Image and Hurricanes both again in that top snake. Let's see that move that was so controversial. Here he comes, Hurricane player, point blank. Oh, I see that now. It looks like the Image player shot the Hurricane player, but the Hurricane player wanted to shoot a couple more just for good measure, and that cost him a 1-for-1. Good call by the refs.
Only a 1-for-1 happens when a player gets marked in an obvious spot. So, their chest, their gun, their hopper, they get marked, they continue to play without wiping it. So if the player is still, still playing and we see an obvious hit, we'll go ahead and pull that player and then pull one more afterwards.
You got to play paintball to play paintball. And if you don't, you're not going to win.
Our coverage of the Nppl Super 7 Series continues with Oakland Blast battling it out with Pittsburgh All-Americans. When Xtreme Paintball, Beyond the Paint, continues on FSN.
Hi, I'm Alex Reggie of Team Dynasty. When running Dynasty paintball clinics, we see all types of paintball players. Whether you're just getting into paintball or ready to step up to the next level, the JT Ready to Play kit has everything you need. Get this $200 kit and a JT gear bag offer for only $99. To find a store near you, go to jtusa.com. Are you ready to play?
Energy gum, chews, and drinks.
Spider Classic Series. Spider VS Series. Spider MR Series. Celebrating 15 years of performance, reliability, and design. View these products and more by visiting us online at spider.tv.
Welcome back to Xtreme Paintball, Beyond the Paint on FSN. Tournament paintball has taken huge evolutionary strides in just a handful of years. Today, it's become the most intense, fast-moving, extreme sport in the nation.
The guns these days shoot up to 20 balls a second. They shoot at 300 feet per second, which is about 220 miles an hour, rough, right around there. They're coming fast, man. The competition level in the Nppl has come up tenfold from what it was 3 or 4 years ago. They might classify the pros as pros and the amateurs, as semi-pro, Division I. But some of the semi-pro teams, even Division I teams, they're just as good as the pro teams. The talent level that they're bringing in right now is real good. So you got to be athletic. You got to train. You got to go out and practice, and you got to run yourself drills, and you got to practice like against good teams all the time. Because if you show up at a tournament unprepared, you're not going to make the cut. You got to have a perfect, a certain physique to play paintball. Small, fast, you see some of these kids out there, like I said, the demographic has come down. You have little 16-year-old kids running circles around my butt. This little 16-year-old kid runs by me, I'm like, Jesus, they're faster, they're tiny. So it definitely helps, to be smaller, for sure. And as I get older, I'm getting bigger, and it's not working out for me right now.
Like, I've known Chris probably longer than anyone else that plays since way, way, way back in the day. And he's always been a really good dude. And he's another one of those guys that was just phenomenal to watch in the old days. Because with the slow rate of fire, that guy can make moves. And, he would see when the guns would shift. He'd have the perfect time, and he'd run 3 or 4 guys. And you'd just be like, wow, that guy just single-handedly destroyed that team. The more and more the volume of paint got up and the speed of the guns got up, it really kind of kept him from doing that. And I truly think now if the guns were still slow, he'd still be making those moves.
Our next Nppl Super 7 game features a little East Coast, West Coast action as Oakland Blast takes on Pittsburgh All-Americans.
Oakland Blast getting ready for the breakout here in their black and red hybrid outfits. Looks like JT pants. All-Americans in their custom yellow and black outfits coming from right to left. Good breakout by both teams. Good secondary moves. A lot of these teams you'll see it in this field layout particularly that there's safe bunkers at the back and then there's movement right away. But there's movement all over here. There's people moving bunkers left, bunker right. They're in the snake. Both teams are in the snake, both sides. There's secondary moves to the car wash. And everyone's screaming, yelling, trying to figure out what's happening. What's happening is you got 2 really aggressive teams coming at each other, trying to find some position on each other. Now it settles down a little bit. All right, we're in our spots. Now let's see what happens. All-Americans moved up the snake, and at the same time, Oakland Blast moved up the snake. So now in the red zone, the snake, Oakland Blast is now trying to get an angle, as well as All-Americans. See good movement by the All-Americans to just play both sides of the bunkers. It's always stay on your toes. It's really skill playing left-handed and right-handed, something you don't really think about till you're out there holding the gun saying, hey, gotta shoot on my left side here. These pros can play both hands, shooting 20, 30 balls a second. These electronic guns shoot so fast. All-Americans players now crawling up the side of the snake, and both snakes are filled, but he's all the way on the other side of the field. Oh, and he just got hit by that player that crawled up all inside the field. Oakland Blast player eliminated by the cross shot from the All-Americans player who was crawled all the way up into the opponent's red zone. Super aggressive right now. All-Americans are firing on all cylinders. All 7 guys. There's good communication there. When you have a front player crawling up the snake, it's always good to have a cover guy. And so that's your back player. He covered your snakes and go, and there you go. Cleaning up the field. That was a solid 100-point max, meaning nobody got eliminated from All-Americans. 7 alive. What a game between Oakland Blast and All-Americans. Super aggressive, off the break. There's so much movement, I couldn't keep track of all the players. Come together, and All-Americans just dominated, hit all the snake guys on the Oakland Blast side, hit the Dorito guys, and then just took off and said, hey, I'm gonna hit all you guys, and we're not gonna lose anybody. 100-point max, All-Americans.
That is the first perfect game.
I mean, we're in a little bit of rebuilding here. We lost some of our core guys at the beginning of this year, and throughout the year we've lost a couple people. I don't know if it's because of our practice regimen or just people got other stuff going on in life, but we're changing.
When Xtreme Paintball, Beyond the Paint, continues on FSN, Chris Lasoya promotes some of the hottest nightlife to be found. FSN's coverage of Xtreme Paintball, Beyond the Paint, is brought to you by Empire, it's what we do. And by WGP Paintball, accuracy counts. Our final game of the day matches up Portland Naughty Dogs against Montreal Image. Image's superstar Chris Lasoya has taken on the bad boy persona on the field.
I'm out there to win, and I'll do whatever it takes to win.
But off the field, Chris is a nightclub and party promoter, just looking to show a good time.
My personality off the field is a lot different than personality on the field. When I'm on the field, I hate everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I hurt you. I don't care if you go to the hospital. It really doesn't bother me at all. When it comes off the field, I really get along with a lot of people. I enjoy life. You know, my life is one big event. You know, I throw big events, big parties. You know, I'm a club promoter. The clubs in Denver, I gotta tell you, they go off. All the girls are hot. All the people are fun. It's a good life to live, I gotta tell you. Boy, I've been promoting clubs and raves, big events for probably about 10 to 12 years. What I do is a lot of it's on the phone. Everything's hired out and contracted to certain people. The people that do the work for me have long-lasting history with me. I mean, where else can you find all this stuff? Everything rolled up in one. We start about 3 months out, booking DJs with the different booking agents, setting up the lights and sound, filling riders. You know, some of these DJs have some crazy riders. You know, you got to get certain equipment for them. As far as throwing parties around here goes, we threw parties at Red Rocks, 9,000, 10,000 people. You know, our small parties around 1,000 people. So, you know, it's something that I love to do. Club promoting, you know, I like making people happy. I like facilitating things. So people come out and have a good time, and that's really all I care about. So as long as everybody has a good time, that doesn't matter to me.
Back on the Nppl center court, Lasoya's Montreal Image is set to take on Portland Naughty Dogs.
Image, a little late break out there. Loses their front player off the break again. We've seen this many times in these games that Image lose that player. I think they got to come up with a new game plan. Lasoya moving over to the rollie, but oh, looks like one of the Image players may be called for wiping. They did. Wiping, the worst infraction you can have on a paintball field, is a 3-for-1. That means that refs felt that he was wiping a hit off, and they pulled 3 of his friends, one of the friends being Lasoya. He's not going to like that at all. Not getting hit, but getting pulled on that penalty. Naughty Dogs smell blood right away in the red zone. Image is on their heels with that penalty. Really hurt you. Naughty Dogs from the Northwest, Oregon, Washington area. Now are ready to clean up on Image, really. They're just ready to go. They got to in the red zone, just gonna give a couple more moves. Up into the snake. This snake player has a good shot on this car wash. Let's see if he gets but the car wash sees him. So they're gonna battle a little bit. When you're battling with another player, I mean, a lot of people think like, oh, the best gunfighter is the winner in paintball, but it's not. It's always timing. It's always angles. You gun battle, you know, 50-50 times. Half the time you're gonna get shot, half the time they're gonna get shot. So the better players are the thinkers, make sure they use their team to get the right angles out. And even though it seems like a team's up on bodies, it's still hard to pin it down the last few guys because you gotta angle them out. This one though, the Dogs communicating well, putting things together, snap shooting a bit, a little battle. But as you can see, the Naughty Dogs don't look like they're all under pressure here. They're just going kind of slowly up the field saying, all right, we're the last couple guys. It looks like all Naughty Dogs players are in the red zone now. Image. It's tough when you get a penalty on you. You know, the rest of the team is just, you're kind of broken. You know, it's hard to come back from that. Oh, one of the Dogs double run-throughs on 3 sides, down the middle, down the right, down the left. Lose 1 in the process, but the Dogs clean up, take it to Image.
Everybody's dropping games right now. You know, the Naughty Dogs are playing really well. They're probably one of the top teams out here playing right now, along with Infamous. You know, I know it was going to be a rough game going in there. We got a 1-for-1 early on, which kind of hurt. You know, I think we got 2 or 3 eliminations, but I mean, at that point we were kind of in a hole anyway, and we were stuck in the back, and there's not much we could do from there.
A wiping penalty is when a player is shot by a valid hit, because not all hits are valid, but a valid hit, and he knowingly either cleans it off with the hand, any part of his body, he rubs it up against a bunker or slides it off. That is considered a wiping penalty, which is a 3-for-1, which you pull him, you eliminate him, and 3 other of his team members.
Here's another look at that final run through from the Naughty Dogs. Sending player up the middle, player up the top, player down the bottom, cleaning up. Last couple players from Image. Good move. Team effort by Naughty Dogs.
I love the paintball industry no matter what, and I know it's something I want to do for the rest of my life because it's something I've grown to love. You know, irregardless if I play or not, I always want to be involved with it somehow because I know I can make a difference and make it better. You know, bringing my knowledge to some of these kids, you know, and hopefully pointing them in the right direction, you know, because, you know, some kids these days kind of get off the path of where they're going and they lose their way, and I think paintball is a great outlet for them. I teach these clinics around the United States and around the world, and I see how these kids' faces light up, and it's a great feeling. But paintball probably saved my life over the long run because, I mean, if I didn't have paintball, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Coming up on the next installment of Xtreme Paintball, Beyond the Paint. Dynasty superstar Ryan Greenspan cuts loose in his San Diego playground.
And the beach is 5 blocks away, so it really is America's finest city, to be honest. I wasn't lying. It even says it on the police cars. I'll probably find one. I'll have to check it out.
Next week on FSN.